Scanning for safety with new security concerns at airports throughout the world, LAX wants people to undergo full body scans. It appears it's time to choose, what do you want more, your privacy or your safety? In the midst of those fireworks is the world's tallest building. They do everything bigger in Dubai, so why not go a half mile high? Maybe you already know what tomorrow's weather will be, but you haven't heard it like this. You don't want to miss the Filter Forecast. On the Filter Forefront, our top 4 of the day. When does your safety begin and your privacy end? We traveled during the holidays, and security at LAX was a nightmare. And this was before the Christmas Day incident, in which a Nigerian man tried to blow up a Detroit-bound flight. For your own protection, would you submit to a full body scan at LAX, or would you feel it's invasive? The LAX Police Union says everybody needs a full body scan, period. Metal detectors detect metal. What if the explosive that someone is bringing on the plane is not metal? Whatever they do, they'll need to do it more efficiently. Our contributors tonight, joining us via Skype, actress and social activist Debra Skelton, and the editor of RonKLA.com, Ron Kaye. And Ron, I'm going to start with you. What's more important here, your privacy or your safety?
Well, there's got to be a balance in these things, and things are out of control. This wasn't a security problem. It was a total breakdown from start to finish in the procedures that are already there. The guy's father knew he was out of his mind. He told the Nigerian officials. He told the U.S. Embassy. He was put on the watch list. And still he got through without anybody spotting anything. If it wasn't for the passengers, well, this would have been a catastrophe. Where's the limits on our privacy, on our freedom, on functionality? I think we're just paranoid to the point of no return. There's no protection against madmen after a certain point.
Ron, I think that's
it's just out of control.
I think it's a valid point, but Deborah, I have to tell you, if I'm going to pick anything, I'm going to pick my safety number one.
For me personally, I would pick safety number one. I've been through a body scan before. It's relatively painless, and you're not taking off all your clothes. It's not like a probing, invasive procedure, basically. And for me, I don't mind it. It's necessary. And yes, sometimes airports are a debacle when it comes to security. They're securing the wrong things, or they're not really securing anything at all. Yet, constantly, people are made to feel uncomfortable. People are made to wait on a regular basis. And quite frankly, it doesn't really do anything. The end just doesn't justify the means. The means doesn't justify the ends. However, in this situation, I would rather see them step up, become more efficient, so something like this has less of a chance of happening again. Not saying that it won't, but less of a chance. My big issue, quite frankly, is what happens once you get on the plane. If you're paying for a plane ticket more than anything else, if you're paying for a ticket and you are not made to feel comfortable, where is that taking us? That's where it becomes invasive. Not getting out of your seat, where the FCC would be glad to say, FAA, I apologize, would be glad to say, don't get out of your seat an hour before, don't go through your carry-on, and you're not even allowed to use the bathroom. Well, for my ticket, what am I getting? I don't mind you securing me before, but when I pay for that ticket, I'm expecting a little bit more comfort and more ease.
I don't think anybody can argue that fact, and I know they have to become more efficient, but certainly I believe it's safety first. Now, I'm going to tell you about an idea. Should we congratulate the people that came up with this, or should we arrest them? 2 professors are coming up with an app for your cell phone that could help guide illegal immigrants safely across the border. The inventors say hundreds die each year attempting to cross the border illegally. This app shows where there's a highway or water or the Border Patrol. It has GPS. Critics say it allows gang members or even terrorists to have a clear path into the country. You can't stop technology, but is this a good idea, Deborah?
Absolutely not. And you know what? Criminal charges should be pressed, and I'll tell you why. It's not as if they had written a book, put it on the shelf, and anyone as an individual went to that particular place to get that book and decide what they were going to do with the information in it. This is saying up-to-the-minute information. Here is what's going on. You can be tracked within a day, within a week, within a month to the areas that you want to go to. Quite frankly, I should think that this would be aiding and abetting illegals. Absolutely, this is aiding and abetting. You're giving them information, maybe not directly, verbally, but directly through communication, directly through electronics. It's no more than aiding and abetting. As far as I'm concerned, it should be considered criminal activity.
What are you
I don't
laughing
think there's a
about?
law against being fools, you know. If there were, all the politicians would be in jail. Is how many of the illegal immigrants coming across the border are carrying cell phones and going to download the app and follow the GPS rules, and the Border Patrol is going to adjust whatever they're doing to whatever's on the app if it's really effective. I suppose terrorists, drug dealers, and people up to no good would take advantage of it, but they don't seem to have a problem running drugs into the country or sneaking terrorists in. So it's sort of exercise in academic foolishness, as far as I can see, that's harmless and hardly going to increase or decrease the wave of immigrants sneaking across the border. It's not going to have as much of an impact as the economic collapse has in slowing the amount of crossings going on.
Well, let me say
we need
this,
an
Ron.
immigration policy. We need to solve the problem and not get lost in what these professors have come up with.
Let me say this, though. I think that you are shortchanging anyone in today's world of technology. Because if you're an illegal immigrant or you're not, eventually you're going to have a cell phone and you're going to be able to operate it. And I think Debra makes a valid point when she says, you know, these people could be using this to get across the border and avoid the Border Patrol. So it's something we're to keep an eye on.